Hey, welcome to Food at the Troughs Brew Review, episode 13, lucky number 13. We have, once again, my brother, James.
Hi, James.
Jimmy James Dudek.
Jimmy James Peter.
Dudek. I'm your host, Eddie Dudek, as always. With me is...
Neal Getling.
There you go. So this week we have our second Dogfish beer, because we did Sati before, right? Which Neal did not prefer, to put it lightly. And this week we have 120 Minute IPA. So this is a whole series of beers, and as I'm sure you guys are aware,
There's just 3 of them, right?
I think there's actually 4 now, because there's a 75 minute, which is the new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So there's
I thought that was just a mix of
I actually don't know.
60 and
You
90.
just mix them together.
No, because
blend?
I'm pretty sure I've been to a bar and it'll say 75 minute, and I'll look and it'll say half 60, half
Like on the
90.
bottle?
Well, just like on a menu.
So they bring it to you in draft, sort of?
Yeah.
Well, there's
draft
actually a
glass.
bottled one now.
Oh,
I
there's a
think.
bottle.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's I don't know. Anyway, so there's the normal ones are 60, 90, and 120 minute, and they're increasing alcohol contents, they're increasing hop levels, bitterness. The 60 is a very, very solid IPA. The 90s, a more, if you're into IPAs, it's better for you. It's a more imperial IPA, 9% and stuff.
Yep.
This is just a completely different beer.
It's a test for me.
Yeah.
So as we've been going along, I started from, I don't like pale ales, to, I like pale ales. This is kind of the ultimate pale ale.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason why we're splitting a bottle like this between 3 people. What did you say the ABV was?
15 to 20%.
Like, they estimate it at,
Because it doesn't say on the bottle, they want to get you drunk.
It does not say on the bottle.
so like, we'll just shoot for,
$10
it's a
a bottle.
17.5% beer. It's completely
Yeah.
ridiculous. They say it's 120 IBUs, which is the international business. Wow, what am I
Really?
saying? What am I saying?
International Bitterness Unit.
Bitterness unit. Where did business come from?
I was going to look up
IBM
bitterness of
maybe?
Other beers you've had?
the one in particular, the hoppy thing.
Oh, the Hoppy Stout from Pipeworks.
From Pipeworks.
That we don't
What's it
remember the name of.
Sorry.
That wasn't End of Days?
It was not End of Days.
I
It
don't
was...
remember that. Anyway, so the interesting thing about it being 120 IBUs is that the scale for normal beers goes from, I think, 0 to 100. And after, the technical
Oh, God.
the technical limit for IBUs is 100. And then it's like, after that, you just like, depending on what formula you use, they vary differently calculating the IBUs after that. And it doesn't really relate to taste much anymore because... So, I don't know, I have no idea how this actually compares to 100 or a 75 IBU
Yeah.
beer. I've had it, and it is a punch in the face, though.
I'm looking forward to it.
Is there something to read?
Yes. So what we have here is the Holy Grail for hopheads. This beer is continually hopped over a 120-minute boil and then dry hopped every day for a month. Enjoy
ridiculous.
now or age for a decade or so.
my
We're
God.
enjoying it now.
I think, most IPAs you actually don't want to age because the hops lose a lot of their punch as it ages, and it's actually over a relatively short period. So an IPA will taste a lot less hoppy at a month or 2 months later, whereas normally you talk about stouts, you age them for a matter of years, right?
Right.
But this one, how long is it going to take before it loses that hoppiness?
I have no idea.
A month later, only 115 IBUs.
So wait, Jimmy, have you actually had this before?
No, I've had the
Okay.
90 minute.
Do you like the 90?
It's
A little
a bit
too
much.
intense?
Yeah.
Have you had the 60?
Yeah, I like the 60.
Okay.
I've only had
That's-
the 60. I
And-
liked it.
And you liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. I've had all 3. Well, let's just get into it. Okay. Let's, dive right in, boys. So these are my Sam Adams tasting glasses. There's actually 4, and it says part 1, I think, color, 2 is aroma,
Oh, yeah.
Taste.
and then 3 is taste.
Oh, yes, that's
something
it.
like that.
Aroma or nose.
It's right there.
Body and mouth feel.
Oh, okay. Then 4 would be taste.
Smooth and full-bodied, but not heavy.
Okay, so
It smells really good.
it actually does smell really good. It's not a lot of citrusy hop.
See, I get the citrus. And I think it's a little bit because last week when we did Blackheart, it was...
So much of the spicy herbal.
Exactly. It was the opposite. We could taste the absence
Well-
of the citrus hops.
I get citrus, but when you're talking about 120 IBUs of constantly hopped, when you're thinking about an American IPA, I feel like... Because this doesn't have as much citrus as Ninjaverse Unicorn for me.
Right.
So
But that has
it's-
Citra, right?
I don't know if that had Citra. I don't know what their hop makeup was. But it's just not as much citrus as I would have
Yeah.
guessed. Color is standard IPA. Yeah, I coughed.
That was not what I expected
No, me neither.
as far as the taste goes.
I thought it was going to be more powerful hops.
I thought, yeah, it was.
I get more powerful alcohol taste, and it's sweet.
You get a very sweet alcohol taste. Not a lot of hops, actually.
It's very good.
It's
Wow.
bitter, and so you get the hops in that respect, but it's not citrusy.
Yeah, I smell the citrus when we were talking about that. I don't get any of that at all.
For how much alcohol you taste, I mean, obviously this is a
It's very
ridiculous
very
amount of alcohol. You don't smell that alcohol.
No,
though.
you don't.
I actually feel a burn.
Dude, I have
Like when you take a sip, it's.
I have burn going all the way down.
It's like
yeah.
when it's like drinking like whiskey burn. Obviously, it's not
It
that
is like
strong,
whiskey burn,
but
yeah.
it's you're getting an actual alcohol burn from a beer, which I've never experienced before.
Yeah. So I can already tell that I'm getting a little bit of the collecting because of the
Yeah.
amount of the sweet alcoholic taste gets that back in the throat collecting that we hate. So I'm already getting a little bit of that, and I've obviously only had that much.
It's funny because we were talking about the burn. I get the burn. I don't get it much going down. I get it going back up into my nose. And it's not like like the Pepsi
Really?
burp or whatever. It's just the way it's pushing out for me.
You know, it's funny because if you drink it through, like if you don't open your mouth very wide when you drink it, it feels really syrupy coming into your mouth
Yeah,
as well.
it does.
Yeah.
And I think part of that's enhanced because it's so sweet too.
Yeah.
Leaves an interesting taste on your lips, which is a random thing to say, but it was like
No, it makes
noticeable
sense.
when I licked my lips.
Yeah.
So I have to really quick story about how we got this beer.
yeah.
It's a little ridiculous. There's a little corner store nearby, and one of our friends, Roy from the La Rosa review.
La Roja?
La Roja.
La Rosa's is a pizza place.
Is it really?
Yeah, in Cincinnati.
There you go. The more you know.
Yep.
So he had mentioned that he had gotten a 120 minute from this little corner store. So I went and I asked the guy, it's like, do you have 120? He's like, yeah, it's in that cooler over there. So I go over and it's like juice and Capri Sun and stuff. And so Roy just goes to the next cooler like that's not, he must have misspoke. He's like, no, that one, third shelf. Look, it's like 20 deep of Capri Sun. Reach past it, pull out a bottle of 120. It's like, okay.
Private stash.
Yeah.
Paid for by the company or whatever it is.
Yeah, by the corner store.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, do you guys think you're ready to give it a
Yes.
rating?
Yeah.
Let's go Jimmers first.
I'd rather go last.
Okay.
Because I can't figure out.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
give it a thumbs up. Because it's not as big of a punch in the mouth that I was expecting, and I guess that's good. I want to try this sort of brew that is hoppier, but what is here is something that's going to get me drunk very quickly. See, this is where the rating system is a little bit flawed because this isn't something that I could drink all day, every day, but it's still something that I want to give a thumbs up to. Like,
Yeah.
it's
No,
not possible.
All day, every day is too.
But it would be impossible to give this that high, and I don't know if that should be our pinnacle.
All day,
rating.
every day, as long as you're conscious. Is that the new description of the double thumbs up?
I think so. But yeah, I'm still going to give it the 1. I think it's got a great flavor. It's drinkable despite being heavily alcoholic. It's just a good beer.
I'm going to give it middle of the road. And I've had it. This is my 3rd time now. So obviously I can't give it a thumbs down because I keep trying it. But I would not say it's drinkable. It's syrupy. It's very sweet. It's very alcoholic in the taste. And to me, it's a novelty. And it's one that you try and you're like, oh, cool. Like, oh, I had this $10 single bottle of beer. But it's not something you go back to. Unless you're an idiot like me. I just keep trying it with different groups of people, which is kind of the thing. Anyway.
Well, that's the novelty factor is something that you mentioned that I didn't even think about because that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to give it a thumbs up because it smells great. The taste, and when I first tried the 90-minute, it was my freshman year of college, maybe.
That's a rough time to try.
But it was the kind of thing where
You were 21 your freshman year of college.
I was.
You mean
know.
your junior year of college?
Yeah, my junior year. There were a lot of air quotes in that. I don't know why.
And mind quotes.
But it was. I tried it and it like destroyed me. And maybe that was because it was so long ago and I hadn't started drinking good beer yet.
Mm-hmm.
But my expectations were a lot more intense, I guess. But so I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. Whatever. End of story. Give it a thumbs up. if someone offered me this, I would drink it because it was $10 and I didn't pay for it. So
that's a good point.
That's
I like
gonna
that.
factor in, but
I like that.
Definitely a thumbs up.
Okay, so we're basically 2 out of 3 thumbs up, 1 middle of the road. So the brew review seems to actually kind of like it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The brew review also acknowledges, at least from both thumbs up standpoints, that it is a novelty drink.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely.
You guys liked my comment on that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Very novelty, very cool, worth trying if you can find it. I don't know how often they put it out, but it's not often.
Yeah.
So, hope you enjoyed this latest episode of the Brew Review. Please check out troughnetwork.com, www.troughnetwork.com. And also check us out on Twitter and Untapped, if you're on Untapped, at TN Brew Review. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers. Oh, someone